Happy New Year to everybody. Sometimes the mind deceives the body. The mind thinks I'm well, but the body says, no, you're still a little sick. So I get weak, and I have to sit down sometimes like now to be comfortable like you. We're already in the second day of the new year. And we can easily say, how time flies. Time passes quickly. And in the epistle lesson of today, Timothy expresses that very well. I remind you what we read. The time of my departure has come. I am at the point of being sacrificed. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Ο Τιμόθεος με την επιστολή του Παύλου μας λέει ο Απόστολος, έφτασε ο καιρός μου. I have done the good race. I have done what is according to God's law to the best of my ability. Paul is not looking forward now except to an end. Most of us when we're young, we think that we have much time ahead of us, and most of us do, like these young people in front of me. When we're young, we see our yaya and our papu and our mother and our father, and we say, if they're still here, I have to stay here. They have to go first. As if, according to life and according to time, there is a sequence of events. No. Death has no reason. Death has no logic. Death has no sequence. It just happens. You're here, and then you're not here. So then what is time? What is time? We know what time is because we live by it on a daily basis. We set the alarm to get up in the morning to go to work, to go to school, to begin our chores. We look at the clock to determine what we should be doing at certain hours of the day and where we should be at certain hours of the day. Oftentimes we are not in control of time. Time controls us, and that is not good. That is not good. We should be in total control of our life. We should not let our clock tell us what to do. But our heart and our mind should direct our every being and every action. The Greeks, and I've preached this before, you've heard it, I'm sure. The Greeks have a wonderful tradition when it comes to language. The Greeks have not only a word for everything, they have many words for everything. When we say time in English, it's one word, time. But the Greeks have chronos, kairos, epochi, aeonia. They have many words for time. Because they describe the many different types of time. Chronos, you know what chronos is? It's a good watch, chronos. But essentially, chronos is the time in which we operate our life. Chronos, the watch, the clock. Seconds, minutes, hours, days. Kairos. Kairos is what we hear often from the Bible, from the Evangelium. It's divine time. It's divine time. It's a time that has no measurement. To keroi kino. At that time. What time? That time. God's time. Unlike man's time, that is chronos, we have kairos. Then we have epoche, the epoch. The epoch. Which is a chunk of historical time. And we can measure things as they change and as they occur in our lifestyle by the epoche during that period of time. And then we have aeoniotica, aeons, aeons, unto the ages of ages, Isus aeonas ton aeonon. That's a time that has no measurement. It's a time beyond measurement. It's that time beyond the cosmos. Before there was a cosmos. So we are all trapped, if you will. We are trapped in time because we recognize the passing of time. By the sunrise and the sunset, by the aging of our body, by the wrinkles on our face, by the color of our hair. Some of you have never changed the color of your hair, thanks to that dye that you get out of the Bible. But time, for most of us, is over our shoulder. We can look back on time. And we can see the many things we did well in life and many things that we wish we could undo in life. I challenge you in a very hospitable way to consider this past New Year Eve. I'm sure most of you, not all, I'm sure, but most of you, were surrounded by friends and relatives and loved ones, and you shouted the Happy New Year, and you embraced and you kissed. You shared a drink together, you toasted the new year for God's blessings, for health and happiness, restored health, life, peace in the family, maybe some prosperity. But did you realize how many more happy New Years you have left? For the moment, we are in ecstasy because it's Happy New Year, and we're surrounded by our loved ones, our children and our grandchildren, our children's children, and we see life before us. But how many of those moments will there be for you, and for you, and for you, and for me? Even for the young people who think that they have a long life ahead of them. Well, if you're not careful, that life may be shortened. If you're not prudent, if you're not wise. And so we have to take time and say, if we only have but today, what must I do today to make it better for tomorrow and for the 1,000 tomorrows yet to come? What can I do? What must I do? And don't wait for God to whisper in your ear, or your neighbor to tell you, or your wife or husband to nudge you. You know what you have to do. You know what you have to say. You know where you have to go. You know what is left undone. Time is precious. And so we ask you, therefore, on this first Sunday of the New Year, on this first Sunday of the ecclesiastical calendar of the New Year, January 2nd, St. Sylvester's Day, to be wise, to be prudent, but also to take action. Change what has to be changed. Implement what has to be implemented. Create which is yet uncreated. Sustain that which needs sustaining. Reconcile with those who need reconciliation. And say, utter the words that will bring love and peace, charity and understanding to those around you whom you take for granted. I know you take for granted so many, especially in your family. Whether it be your husband, your wife, your children, your children's children, you see the family, the in-laws, they each have a place in your life. Nurture that relationship. Cultivate that relationship. Heal that relationship in time. For time is running out for all of us. I don't say this to bring you down in depression, but I say it to you to wake you up from the root of your being and say, you know, Father's right. How many more Christmases will there be for me? How many more New Years will there be for me? How many more birthdays will there be for me? For you, and for you, and for you. Time is running out. St. Paul admonishes us in today's epistle reading, I have run the good race. I have fought the good fight. I have fulfilled the commandments of the Lord to the best of my ability. I can only see on the horizon a crown of victory that is mine, and that will be yours, and yours, and yours, if we do what's right with what time is left. Amen.